Hey everyone, welcome back to Places in News. Get ready for some exciting updates on the most talked about locations making global headlines. Without further ado, let's dive in. We will start our journey from South America. India and Argentina recently discussed expanding mining cooperation. Discussions included lithium exploration by Khanij Bidesh India Limited or KABIL and Greenco. They also talked about increasing the participation of Indian companies in Argentina's mining projects. Argentina, part of the lithium triangle, is key for India's access to minerals needed for EV batteries and renewable energy storage. What is the lithium triangle? The lithium triangle refers to a region in South America that contains some of the world's largest lithium reserves. This triangular-shaped region encompasses parts of Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile. They possess 58% of the world's known lithium reserves. Argentina is the world's 8th largest country. After Brazil, it is South America's 2nd largest country. Argentina shares its borders with Chile, Bolivia, Paraguay, Brazil, and Uruguay. Buenos Aires is the capital city of Argentina. It is also its national center for commerce, industry, politics, culture, and technology. Argentina houses the mesmerizing Patagonia that is one of the world's most biodiverse regions. By the way, which is the most biodiverse region in South America? Pause and comment down below. Now we will journey to Central America. India dispatched humanitarian assistance of 26 tons to Honduras in the wake of the recent tropical storm Sara. Honduras is a country of Central America situated between Guatemala and El Salvador to the west and Nicaragua to the south and east. In the north, the country shares a vast stretch of coast with the Caribbean Sea. On the south, it shares a small stretch with the Pacific Ocean. Tegucigalpa is the capital of Honduras. Honduras is the second largest country in Central America, following Nicaragua. Its official language is Spanish. Some of its major rivers include Patuca, Ulua, etc. Its major mountain ranges include volcanic highlands, Central American Cordillera, etc. Now we will travel to Southeast Asia. Vietnam's foreign ministry recently published a map defining its baseline claim in the Gulf of Tonkin. This move aims to protect Vietnam's sovereignty, rights, and jurisdiction in the region. In March 2023, China unilaterally published a new maritime baseline, leading to diplomatic protests from Vietnam. So what is the Gulf of Tonkin? It is referred to as Bibu Gulf in Chinese and Bac Bo Gulf in Vietnamese. It is a crescent-shaped, shallow, semi-enclosed water body situated off South China and northern Vietnam coasts in South China Sea's northwestern portion. It is bordered by the northern coastline of Vietnam in the west and northwest, by China's Guangxi Huang Autonomous Region in the north, and by the Lisu Peninsula and Hainan Island in the east. It is connected with the South China Sea via the Gulf's mouth in the south and Henan Strait in the northeast. Many rivers empty into the Gulf of Tonkin, with the Red River supplying the major riverine discharge, along with some smaller rivers along the northern and western coastal areas. In northern Vietnam, the Gulf's main port include Haiphong and Bien Thuet, whereas in China, its major port is Beihai or Pakhoi. The Gulf of Tonkin incident of 1964 played a crucial role in escalating the Vietnam War, as alleged attacks on the US naval bases led to direct American military intervention. In 2000, Vietnam and China signed the Gulf of Tonkin Agreement, establishing exclusive economic zone boundaries in accordance with the UNCLOS 1982. So what is UNCLOS or UNCLOS? How would you define a Gulf? Let us know in the comment section below. Now we will move to South India. VO Chidambaram Port Authority is exploring the possibility of setting up a shipbuilding facility in Thoothukudi. VO Chidambaram Port, formerly known as Tuticorin Port, is located on the southeastern coast of India in the Gulf of Mannar. It lies close to the east-west international sea routes, making it a crucial hub for maritime trade. It is well sheltered from storms and cyclonic winds, ensuring minimal disruptions in port operations. It is a deep water, all-weather port, operational round the clock 365 days a year. What are the other major seaports in India? Tell us below. Now we will learn about the Tea Horse Road making the headline. China's ambassador to India, Xu Feiong, recently highlighted the historical significance of the Tea Horse Road, emphasizing its role in facilitating India-China trade through Tibet. So what is the Tea Horse Road? The Tea Horse Road was an ancient trade route connecting India, Tibet, and China. It was primarily used for trading tea from China in exchange for horses from Tibet, forming an an essential commercial network in the region. It had two main pathways, passing through cities like Gali and Lijiang in Yunnan province. The routes reached Lhasa in Tibet before branching into India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. It originated during the Tang dynasty in China. Buddhist monk Yijing described goods like sugar, textiles, and rice noodles being transported from southwestern China to Tibet and India, while horses, leather, Tibetan gold, saffron, and medicinal herbs were sent to China. The tea horse road strengthened India-China trade ties through Tibet. It facilitated cultural exchange, influencing cuisine, textiles, and Buddhism. It boosted economic interdependence by linking China's tea-producing regions with India's trading hub. With this, we have come towards the end of our discussion. These locations tell powerful stories of mining partnerships, humanitarian efforts, territorial disputes, booming infrastructure, and ancient trade routes. What do you think? Drop your thoughts below. See you in the next episode.